Today I wanted to go ahead and discuss kind of my walk with God and how I got to where I'm at. Um, I think for a lot of people, you have to be. I mean, let me Google it real quick. Actually, all right, let's find out. So, 1 Corinthians 3:18, let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. Basically, what that means is, I think, is like I was a fool. Like I thought I was wise, and I had to become a fool before I could become truly wise. So yeah, let no man deceive himself. So basically, I grew up in the church, had a Christian background, more or less, and then I think it was kind of just like growing up in the church. I just kind of like, some part of me just wanted to rebel. I don't know what it was. I mean, I think it was the devil, obviously, but so through middle school, I started like acting out, trying to always be the funny guy. I get in trouble a lot. But I was always like pretty good. Like I never do anything bad. And then once I got to high school, I want to say it was my freshman year, and like I was like, quote unquote, like I don't want to say I was like the popular guy, but I would, people would invite me to like the parties and stuff like that, like all the older kids. And so I was like, okay, like, I want to see what this is about. So started doing my thing, and then my best friend actually started smoking weed, and he was smoking weed on a somewhat regular basis, I think. And there was a couple other kids at school, like in my grade, started to do it. So I was like, oh, okay, I want to see what this weed thing's about. So I had this girl, this random girl. She was like a new kid at our school. I was friends with her because she had a crush on me. And so I asked her, I was like, hey, can I get some weed? I just asked her, can I get some weed? And she was like, yeah, like, I don't know. And it's just like the next day she just brought me some weed, and actually like a little pill. I remember it was a Norco. And she gave it to me at school. That's how like not smart I was. And yeah. So then from there on out, I took the weed. I went home. I smoked it. I didn't really smoke that much. And then my buddy came over, who did smoke. He was like, oh, okay, you finally got it. You like want to try it? And I was like, yeah, bet. So then I remember we went up to my little tree house, and I took like a couple puffs, and I wasn't even that high. I wasn't even high at all. I was like, all right, like let's go. Like I'm done. Like we're high. Like we're pretty high. And he was like, bro, what are you talking about? Like we're not even high yet. So then we smoked the whole bag of weed. We smoked like the whole bag. I remember we went down to my I had like this little shed. We went in there and we smoked the whole bag, but we were sitting down, so I didn't really notice anything much of it. And then when I got up, it all hit me, like all of it just hit me, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, I started like rolling around, like crying. I was like, damn, you gotta get me inside before my parents get home, because my parents were on their way home soon. And I remember we just went inside. I made a bunch of food, and then I was like, all right, I'm acting like we're asleep. And we just had a good time that night. It was awesome. And then from there on, I was just hooked. Like, I think like the next day, I asked my other buddy I knew like sold if I could like buy like a $20 worth, and I just started smoking. We wanted to be like the biggest stoners in our school, so we would literally just smoke every day, all day. Like as soon as we get out of school, that's what we did. And eventually, I got caught because I tried to buy some at school. It was like actually my second time or third time buying it. And I was just being dumb. weird story, but I got caught with it. Basically, anyways, I was smoking since freshman year, all throughout high school. And also during that, I started partying. Some girls gave me a vape, and that's when I started vaping a lot. So yeah, I just found out I didn't really drink too much in high school. I would drink occasionally at the parties. I had fun with it, but I wasn't the biggest drinker. We were always getting high. I started doing a couple hard drugs through high school, like Molly, Xanax, Norcos. I was never too big on those, but I did do them on occasion, so I'm not gonna stay. I did do like psychedelics. But yeah, so basically, I grew up in the church. Through high school, started like doing all these random things, just like trying to like, I don't know. I thought that's what life was about at the time. I just thought that's what life, like what people did. I don't know why I listened to people so much. And then, all right, my bad. I had to get some water. Yeah. So basically, throughout high school, just kind of completely fell away. I got a girlfriend actually my freshman year. And we were just having like, you know, sexual immorality a lot. Like we were having sex all the time. It was not good. I fell deep into that. And then we broke up and I was really sad. So I started just getting with a bunch of chicks that I didn't even really care about. I would just get with them. And it's just simply to, you know, smash and then on to the next one. It was nasty. You know, in the scriptures it says every girl that you get with you're technically married to. I wish I would have known that at the time. But fast forward, I'm gonna edit that out. Fast forward, I think my junior year, I get this other girlfriend, and I liked her a lot, like I really did. And everything was good, and then COVID happened, and we all like kind of got out of school, and I kind of just got handed my diploma. And right around then, that's when she was like, "Hey, like I kind of just want to like try something else. Like I want to get with like, just go do my own thing, and I don't want to like be together anymore." And I was like, I was really opposed to it. I didn't want to do that, but I could just tell that like that's where her mind was, and there was no change in it. And I honestly, the way I was living that relationship, like I can't really blame her. Like I was just like same kind of deal with the first relationship. I was just smoking weed all the time, drinking occasionally. Then just not a God-led relationship in any way. So yeah, that happened, and then I blamed myself, I think, for that happening for a very long time. I'm talking like a year and a half. So at first I was okay. I would like hang out with my friends. I'd make do with the time. You know, I'd go on hikes, do a lot of fun stuff. But then I had this roommate move in who kind of had a drinking problem. And through him, I kind of picked up drinking, and I just started drinking a lot. And that's when things kind of got dark. Like, it was already kind of dark. I was already kind of depressed. And then throwing drinking on top of it, like, was just the worst. I was still smoking, still hitting my nightstick. And then I started drinking. And I was watching the websites, like, every day. So, yeah, I got to the point where it was just a couple beers a night, a couple beers a week, whatever. Then become a couple beers a night. And then, yeah, I got to the point where I was, like, literally a full-blown, I would say, alcoholic. I would drink, like, 6 beers a night. Like, I remember I would drive around, because I'm not even 21 yet. I would literally just drive around my town, like, looking for someone to buy me alcohol. If it took 2 hours, it didn't matter. If it took 1 hour, if it took 2 hours, if it took 2 hours and 2.5 hours, I would find someone. Because that's how addicted I was. And I would literally, like, once I got home, I would sit there and just drink, probably till, like, 4 in the morning every night. Then I'd go to work the next day. I'd come in cross-faded to work. I would drink throughout the day before work. It was just bad. I remember I would show up to work drunk. I never got caught, but I would just do it. Yeah, it was just not good. So yeah, And then I was just super depressed. I remember, hold on, let me cut this so it doesn't get too long. So yeah, I was just like, I was super depressed. I was drinking a lot. And then, I don't know how I got so far into this hole. I really didn't. I remember I'd stay up nights, like, and I would literally sit in this room and just think about, like, how I want to take my own life. I would sit there with my bong and my weed and my Nick stick all around me and just sit there on the floor. I would literally just cry sometimes. Listen to, like, Lil Peep, Juice WRLD, XXXTentacion, all the worldly secular music, and I just did not know what I was doing with my life at all. I did not know how dark it was. There's a song called Let Her Go. You all know it, by Passenger. You don't know you're high until you're low. And that's deep. But yeah, so I was at my job, my other job that I actually just quit for reasons. And then I got caught vaping in the fridge. I know, like, what a loser. And then, but no, I'm past. Like, I don't. It's all good. And then, yeah, they suspended me for 5 days. And during that 5 days, me and my buddies decided to go fishing. And during that fishing, I drank like 12 beers that night. Then we wanted to hang out again the next night. I drank like 12 beers again. And then after that, I drank like about a 30 rack, and I drank those. And I was just like, literally, probably the saddest I've ever been. Like, what am I doing? Like, I didn't know why I was doing this, and I just needed it. Like, that was my only sense of happiness, was just drinking, getting high, and that was my life. And I didn't know why. I just would. That was the only thing in my mind that would make me happy. And one night, while I was drinking those beers, it was like, my buddy kind of came to me, but it was just like one night, like, I felt like the Holy Spirit kind of came to me. God, spoke to me. It was like, what are you doing? Like, this is what you want to do with your life? Like, literally told me, like, bro, like, this is exactly what you told yourself you weren't going to do, and you're doing it. Like, this is what you're going to do with your life. And from that day on, everything changed. Like, I really did hear something from God that day, and from that day on, everything just kind of changed. I knew I had to, quit watching the websites. That kind of came first. Then I quit smoking because my buddy was like, yeah, I think you should quit smoking. You're a lot smarter. My childhood best friend, and I just never thought about it like that. And he's, kind of on this walk as well with me. So then I quit smoking, I quit drinking, and I actually quit the vaping, which I was doing the smoking and both smoking things for over 6 years. And I quit all 4 of those in a month. And it's just wild. So all glory to him, all glory to him. That wasn't me, it was all glory to him. And I'm just thankful. He came in, he saved my life. So, for Romans 1:17, for in the righteousness of God is revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the righteous shall live by faith. So now at this point, I just live by faith. Like, I don't know every situation. Like I said, I just quit my other job, but I just have faith in God. Like, he saved me out of my darkest times, and I'm just happy now. I'm honestly just super happy, super stoked on what the next chapter of my life is going to be through him, So the message I would like to leave you guys with is just like, no matter how far you get, no matter how much of a sinner you think you are, whatever you think, he's always watching. He's always there for you. You shut him out sometimes, but he's always there. And when I was younger, I just thought he was like some mumbo jumbo. I was like, man, I've been listening, I've been coming to church. I'm so over this whole God, this whole Jesus thing. I don't want to hear it. I would go to church camp and I would fall asleep. I would just I don't want to hear it. I wasn't about that, because I was just, when you're so high all the time, you can't hear the voice of God. You can't see the signs of God. But when you finally sober up and you look for it, you'll see it. Like, I'm gonna make a film right now. It's called, I think he uses broken people. He uses people that are broken, You know, I had to be broken. You know, like I said, 1 Corinthians 3:18, let no man deceive himself. If any among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool that he may be wise. He let me become a fool. He let me. Because he knew like what he was going to do now. So if I could leave you guys with any messages, that there is a living God, and just put faith in him and he will guide you. I truly believe that. You know, not everything's just going to fall into pieces, but if you pick up your cross every day, get into the scripture, read, he will guide you. So that's just my testimony. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there, okay, guys? Thank you for watching. I don't know why I decided to do this. It just randomly happened, so here it is. This is me raw. This is me just one take raw. So that's how it came out. So, all right, later, guys.